Yo, what up, people? Smith still motherfucking are here today, of course, to give you guys BlazBlue Ultra Memory Episode 1 motherfucking review. Now, this anime, yo, this nigga has a $90 billion bounty on his head. And why is that a big deal? Well, because on the posters, like all the posters around him, like this one motherfucker was $160,000 and he was wanted also. Compare that to 90 billion and they're both wanted. This dude must be crazy powerful. I don't know, unless like, but even like, cause it has to be worth something. Like, I mean, unless like 160,000 of their like whatever they use as money, like dineros or some pennies, I don't fucking know, because we haven't found out their money system. But that's like that can't be like $1, and so he has, I mean, it has to be worth like at least like a minimum of like $10,000, like 10,000. So if we even put him as a low level criminal, like but still wanted, like that would be like a 10,000, like 5,000 to 10,000 range, and he's like massively multiple times that though. So he's in like no matter what, he has to be in the billions. So even with that, I don't know, he just has to be, or at least hundreds of millions, maybe at least the 900 millions. Still, it doesn't matter, because he's the most wanted man in this fucking world. And his name, of course, is Ragnar the Bloodluster. Grim Reaper. Yo. His name, he's like Grim Reaper. Yeah. They call him Grim Reaper, but his name on his poster, of course, is that. Anyway, in the beginning of this shit, we basically see he's like fighting this girl, and it's like, again, you come to kill me again? And he's like, yeah, no, I came to fucking dismantle you. And I'm like, yo. And then they're fighting and doing all this airspace combat, and then there's this motherfucker just watching from like nowhere and shit, like just up in the air, just like up on the top of this fucking giant ass like cathedral or some shit, basically just watching. And they're just fighting through the air, and then she like stabs through him, and then stabs through her. And then it's like, oh, we're going together. And then I assume they both die. And then basically we see this other dude, and he's like apparently like a vampire. It's kind of confusing. It really is. But it's still crazy epic. Even though it's sort of confusing to me. Because like some parts. Okay, so anyway, basically, he's wanted. Now then. Which we talk about first. Let's talk about this bounty hunter that came looking for him. It was like a comedy moment. Basically, he was walking through the bad side, and literally, this dude's so badass. Like, yo, he's walking through bad neighborhoods when he's worth so much fucking money, and he's walking by his wanted poster, just like face out and everything, looking exactly like the motherfucker. He don't give a fuck. Like, yo, that's so badass. It really is. I mean, like, yo, like, legit, he's walking past his own wanted posters. Niggas walking by looking at these bitches every day. And then they see him in his neighborhood, and they need the money. I mean, that's worth the death, don't you think? It's money to get you set for life. For life, possibly. At least for life. Maybe even your children for life, and possibly even their children for life. Just, your family would be set. And the thing about it is, like, I was expecting this nigga to get jumped, like, by some weak underlings and shit, and he just fucks him up. But no, instead he got, like, attacked by, like, this bounty hunter. And she basically, she didn't really exactly say her name. I believe she kinda did when she was, like, doing, like, this fucking, like, cannon thing, like, this punch. It was like, fuck that shit, and threw the bitch in the wall. Like, legit. And her thing is, like, she says meow after everything. She's dressed like a cat, like, weird. He like walks over and then she just grabs him like meat. And I'm like, then he treats her to a meal, and she's obviously fucking blind because she shows him the wanted poster, and apparently her wanted poster that she has looks nothing like him. Well, it looks wearing the same clothes and shit, but the face is somewhat altered. And so basically she's dumb, and she's just following him around and shit. And he's like, "Why are you fucking following me?" He's like, "I'm not. I'm just going where I want to go." And she's doing all this weird dance and shit. Then she touches his arm, and she passes the fuck. Like, she gets dizzy, and he just runs away. And we find out, like, he's apparently considered to have mastered his his ability, which I can't remember the name of exactly, but it's like some type of like aura or some shit like that's ancient, or it's like very famous, and I'm assuming that other people have had it throughout history that have been like badass motherfuckers. And the thing about it is his like his hand, like if you touch it, like this woman considers that he's mastered it. This woman who apparently is like in this dimension watching all this shit unfold with this other motherfucker, like just chilling in this black space that's also with all these blue motherfuckers, which I'll get to later. The thing is, but his old master says that he hasn't mastered his ability yet, and he's seeing that. It's like, is this really mastered when if anybody touches my fucking arm, it activates? And then from that let's go over to the blue coats now. Basically, this bitch is just walking into this dude's office, and they're wearing like this blue fucking uniforms, like whatever. Oh my god, fucking K anime, yo, like the blue coats, yo, like legit. I just got reminded of that. And such like the area like has fucking like spaceships, like battle cruisers from Star Wars. And I'm like, yo, but it also has like helicopters and stuff, so that's kind of weird. But fuck it. And the thing is, basically, he gets like this confidential letter. He opens it. He's like, "Yes, I get to kill him. I get to kill Ragnar." We find out later that this dude's name is Jin, and he is actually this motherfucker's brother. And he was, it's really fucking. We'll get into it. Basically, that's all I'm gonna say for now. I'm gonna call him Jin. He has like this other name that she calls him, but fuck it. And then basically, he's just exhausted and passed on the bench. And meanwhile, of course, this bitch is going to talk to like this one motherfucker that was in that black dimension. He's like this like cat or vampire or something. Like he lives immortal apparently. It's hard to follow really. And I didn't catch his name because they only said it like once, and it was very brief. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? But basically, he's like in the secret fucking intelligence agency or some shit for like this organization. And he's like just visiting. He's telling her to get a look at the land. And so as she's going out, she sees this motherfucker. And the thing about it that really got to me was like, aren't they like hunting this motherfucker? And then she sees him, and then she's like just like nursing this motherfucker. Like, are you okay? Let's take you to a doctor. Like, that makes no sense. But her character, though, I believe, is somewhat off. Because even, like, the dude said, like, she's going, oh, so he's that direction. Apparently, like, every day, like, or possibly, like, it repeats, like, it seems like an infinite cycle or some shit like that. Like, every day repeats, or, like, every sequence of events repeats after one another, like, continuously forever. Unless something's changed. I don't fucking know. But basically, she always seems to find this motherfucker. So she's walking, she's like, oh, he's having a fucking nightmare. And it's like, about this girl, and I believe her name was Sayo. Or Saya. One of those. I believe it was Sayo, though. And apparently, he was, like, in love with her, I believe. And there was, like, a fire, and, like, his arm was cut off and shit. And it was like, oh, a scary dream, and he woke up, he's like, you're not Sayo. And then he just basically, like, takes the fuck off. After all that doctor talk and shit. And she's like, oh, why is he always running off like that? Wait, why did I say, why is he always running off like that? And that's what makes me think, like, it's in some sort of time loop where she meets motherfucking time, but yet she never remembers him. Which is really weird. I don't know, but she could actually be Sayo. I'm not sure, though, because I don't know what the fuck. It's fucking weird. Who knows? And then basically goes to this fucking place, and he fights Jin, and we find out that Jin's actually this motherfucker, Ragnar. Fuck, Ragnar. It sounds like a girl when I say that, though. Ragnar. Doesn't it? it's fucking... Anyway, the thing about it is, basically, his brother is the one, I believe, who cut off this motherfucker's arm and possibly killed the love of his life. And he whooped his ass for sure, but and his brother Jin is rocking ice shit to watch. I'm like, yo, he's like shooting ice balls. Like, where you at? Here's a guy. Like, yo, like anything he cuts, like he cuts ice, nigga. He shoots that shit out like mad fast, creating ice like Aokiji in this motherfucker. Like, yo, out his sword and shit. I'm like, yo, he was pretty badass. But then, motherfucker. Every time I say his fucking name, it sounds like I'm saying the girl with fucking Ragna. Basically, Ragna. It just sounds so much like a girl now. I don't know why. Maybe I misplaced it with something. No, it's Ragna. So fuck it, Ragna. Ragna basically. Fuck it, we're calling him Grim Reaper from now. Grim Reaper. 'Cause I'm tired of saying Ragna. It sounds like I'm referring to a woman, and I'm not. And it's getting me a little irritated. So we're calling him the Grim Reaper. So basically the Grim Reaper like goes into power up mode. And he just powers up and he's like doing like, yo, just about to punch this motherfucker. He like gave away the sword. He's like, fuck that shit. He's about to punch this motherfucker. And then he dodged that shit like doing like a flash down. And he just went back around and like uppercut. And like black shit. He goes flying in the air. And then he comes up and just like, yeah, nigga done. He in the ground. He out, and then as he's walking away, he's like, "You were so soft, brother." And throughout, like when they're sword fighting, he's like saying, like, "Oh, your arm." Like right before they're about to sword fight, he's like, "Oh, your arm. It's not suit you well, just like the other one." And then it reiterated like a flashback that he was actually cutting his brother's arm off, and I believe he actually killed this chick Chu, love of his life. And I get he's your brother, but I mean, no, you killed your girl, you cut off your arm, and you're not gonna kill him. That also again is another. His character's really weird right now. We need more episodes before we get to know exactly what the fuck's going on, in my opinion, or at least for me. And basically, what happened next was he's walking out. Then in come this bitch. I'll get her name. I'll get her name eventually. And that motherfucking like vampire nigga that's always like that was floating in the black space. And he's like apparently like Secret Service or some shit or intelligence agency shit. Anyway, they go in there and they see him, and he's like, oh, "I gotta go track him down." And he's just like what are you doing? Like what? He's like, and then the thing is like she's basically telling him that she's gonna go track this motherfucker down, and she wants this motherfucker right here to go basically like treat him. And then she turns around, she's going to run off to fight him, to find this motherfucker. And he's just gone. He just like teleports and shit, and it's weird. And she looks around, he's like gone and shit. And so I'm wondering what the fuck's his ability. We'll find out later. And then from there, it goes to, by far, like the most interesting part in the end of this shit. Basically, this motherfucker, Grim Reaper, this dude. He's in like some like basement area or some shit, or some underground area, and basically like the doors open up and he's like, what's going on? And it starts with a fucking A, his fucking thing, but basically it's acting whack. Like his fucking ancient like arm or his magic or some shit. I believe it's like some type of demon in his arm. I don't fucking know. Basically it's acting up. It's getting scared, and then in comes like this metallic ass motherfucker, and then there's like this little girl who has like silver hair and shit. Apparently, I believe she's like a vampire. I don't fucking know. It's like you're a vampire, but you're not. It's weird. They're dropping vampire in there. It fucking confused the shit out of me. It really did. But nonetheless, I'm enjoying this shit nonetheless. But the thing about it was, when this vampire and this other motherfucker, fuck it, when they're watching this shit, basically they say, he's never beat her before. So basically he's about to die again in the anime. So he's about to basically fight off against a motherfucker he's never fought before, and it's just like a giant metallic ass motherfucker. And his own arm is getting scared. We definitely need more episodes. We definitely do. But nonetheless, this episode A 9.2 out of 10. It was better than great. It was better than fucking great. It was a better than great motherfucking episode. So with that being said, Smith's to the motherfucking R. Peace the fuck out.